The one-time thriving Diddy empire built on the entrepreneurial genius of Sean Combs finally saw its most formidable challenge. Looming threats of life imprisonment have cast a dark shadow over the iconic rapper and business mogul, calling into question the fate of his empire and personal life. How has all come to pass? Combs was arrested at Manhattan's Park Hyatt Hotel on September 16, 2024, after he was indicted by a grand jury on charges including sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Prosecutors said that Combs created a criminal enterprise through which women were forced to gratify his sexual desires, and that he conspired to commit various crimes, including forced labor and obstruction of justice. Combs has pled not guilty at an arraignment on September 17th after being arrested. A judge ordered him held without bail, citing possible violence and intimidation of witnesses. However, Combs' attorney, Mark Enfolio, did a robust job defending his client by labeling these cases filed against his client as unjust prosecution. Enfolio cleared the record by stating that Diddy was no criminal, but as a matter of fact, an imperfect person who had dedicated over 3 decades of his life to having a successful career and serving the Black community. Enfolio, of course, blamed the U.S. Attorney's Office for indicting Diddy. "We believe this is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs." He emphasized that Diddy had been fully cooperative with the investigation and even relocated to New York in anticipation of the indictment. Enfolio asked everyone not to rush judgment until all the facts have come out, adding that Diddy is an innocent man looking forward to going into the courtroom to prove his innocence. He also indicted the fact that Diddy had turned himself in, showed he was ready to face those charges head on. Enfolio sounded optimistic but Diddy's innocence, and further declared that they would fully contest all the allegations levied against him concerning sex trafficking and racketeering as specified in the indictment. He said these are the actions of a not guilty man with nothing to hide, and confirmed Diddy was eager to prove his innocence in court. Significantly, their arrest had been part of an ongoing federal investigation led by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. In November of 2023, his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura sued P. Diddy for rape, sexual assault, and sex trafficking. In the suit, Combs had repeatedly abused Ventura for years, sexually assaulted her, trafficked her for sex, and completely controlled her life since she was 19 years old. She also accused Combs of raping her and forced her to have relations with male prostitutes while he watched and videotaped. She then claimed that Combs was using his power and wealth to intimidate and silence her, even on one occasion threatening to ruin her music career if she dared to speak out against him. She described Combs as a serial domestic abuser who frequently beat her and kicked her, thus leaving bruises, black eyes, and bleeding. She further alleged that Combs had introduced her to drugs and alcohol, leading her into dangerous addictions. In response to the lawsuit, his then lawyer, Benjamin Brafman, denied all allegations and accused Cassie of attempting to extort him. Brafman also stated that Combs had offered Ventura a payment of 8 figures to silence her and prevent the filing of this lawsuit, which she rejected. Cassie's lawyers, Douglas Wigdor, commended her courage in coming forward and filing the lawsuit. "I am very proud of Miss Ventura for having the strength to go public with her lawsuit. She ought to be commended for doing so," Wigdor said. Interestingly, the lawsuit itself was filed under the recently enacted New York Adult Survivors Act. This law provided a 1-year window for victims of past sexual abuse to bring legal action regardless of when the abuse occurred. Despite the serious allegations, the lawsuit reached a swift resolution on the same day it was filed. Both parties announced an amicable settlement, though details remain confidential. Cassie did state that she retained some control over the outcome of the resolution. Combs also released a statement attempting to paint a conciliatory picture. He said, "We have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best. Love." However, this attempt to take responsibility was met with skepticism by many who viewed it as a calculated move rather than a genuine apology. The series of legal challenges didn't end there. In March 2024, P. Diddy's home in Los Angeles and Miami were raided by federal agents from the Department of Homeland Security investigations in New York about an alleged human trafficking probe. These raids escalated Diddy's legal battles with which had seen him face multiple lawsuits of sexual molestation and sex trafficking. Video from the raid depicted Diddy's children, Justin, 30, and King, 25, being arrested outside their father's house in LA. They were detained while the police searched the dwellings, but were released without any arrests being made. This turned the investigation into another dimension as people started wondering if Diddy's sons had potential involvement. After the FBI search of P. Diddy's mansions in California and Florida, the outlines of the probe became known. The operations were conducted by the Homeland Security Investigations Human Trafficking Task Force and conducted with a warrant obtained in New York. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office is said to be identifying at least 4 people willing to speak about sex trafficking claims involving the rapper. Firearm and narcotics charges are also said to be under investigation. The coordinated operation involved a significant delay of force with participation from HSI's Los Angeles and Miami branches alongside law enforcement partners. However, Combs strongly dismissed the allegations of sexual abuse and sex trafficking through his legal counsel. They have described the probe as a witch hunt and asserted there is no proof of the charges made. These investigations also came on the heel of lawsuits filed against Combs. His music producer, Rodney Little Rod Jones, alleged that Combs coerced him to soliciting and having sex with prostitutes. 3 additional lawsuits filed under the New York Adult Survivor Act alleged sexual assault by Combs. Despite this, his then lawyer maintained that the claims were fabricated. However, following the raid, Diddy's sons, Justin and King Combs, briefly returned to their father's Los Angeles mansion to retrieve belongings and were seen leaving separately that night for unknown locations. In turn, Misa Hilton, the mother of Justin Combs, expressed outrage over the excessive force and aggression used by armed federal agents during the raids. She released video footage of Homeland Security raiding the Los Angeles home. However, to the public, these raids and subsequent detention of Combs' sons have ignited intense media scrutiny and heightened interest, suggesting potential implications for Combs' sons. His recent arrest of charges of sex trafficking and racketeering has further heightened the speculation. Many celebrities have publicly commented on the situation, with reactions ranging from disbelief to vindication for alleged victims. Aubrey O'Day, a former member of Danity Kane, expressed her astonishment, stating, "I never imagined I would witness this moment," highlighting that many victims have suppressed their experiences. She emphasized the emotional weight of the situation for those who felt unheard in the past. Conversely, 50 Cent took to social media to mock Diddy, juxtaposing his own life with Diddy's legal troubles. His comments are part of a wider feeling within sections of the entertainment world that Diddy's arrest represents some kind of reckoning for behavior some have said was well known for years. U.S. Attorney Damian Williams suggested that Diddy did not act alone and there could be others implicated in his alleged criminal activity. That has led to speculation about others who might be a part of wider network allowing Diddy to do what he allegedly did. The reactions of the public have been multi-layered. For some, the level of charges against such a well-recognized figure as Diddy is unimaginable. For others, it is part of a very necessary cultural shift in accountability for such powerful persons accused of such misconduct. The continuing case will more than likely shape public opinion further as details emerge, and Diddy prepares to fight these charges vigorously in court. But what do you guys think about the series of investigations against Diddy? Do you think he's getting out of this anytime soon? Let us know in the comment section below, and if you liked this video, make sure to click and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.